Y'all can go ahead and get started. All right, folks, why are we here today?
Well, I'm Rob Lynch, President and CEO of Dirt Cheap, and we are here just trying to help out in our local communities. We're donating 895 masks to all of our first responders here, and 2,000 surgical masks to help with our first responders that are out there in need of PPE. We're just trying to do our part, live our culture, and give back to the community.
You know, Rob, we thank you so much. Mississippi is not known as the hospitality state for nothing. This is a great thing to see on our behalf as emergency managers. Our partners with NEMA have been just extraordinarily great with us in giving us PPE, but everybody's having a shortage. And this bump right here from your great folks here at Dirt Cheap is going to help our responders here in Rankin County and to keep our folks safe, and that's what this thing is all about. The public-private partnerships are second to none, especially here in Mississippi. And from all of us and the citizens here in Rankin County, we just want to tell you thank you. We greatly appreciate it, and this will be very, very well utilized. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure. You're welcome.
Now, you've done this for other EOCs around the state. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, we have. You know, when this all started going down 6 or 8 weeks ago, as a company, we were fortunate. We had some N95 masks in our inventory in our warehouse. So we locked them down and we started donating them right away. This is probably going back 8 weeks ago. We donated over 15,000 N95 masks. And as we were doing that, in the process of doing that, we realized at the local level how short some folks were. You know, Forest County, Baton Rouge, Forest General Hospital, as we were donating to some of the first responders, they had none. No N95 masks. We decided after that, we were running low, we bought more. We went forward, we pulled some connections in China, we shipped them over, air freighted them so that we can help more, because it was even before things started really getting out of hand with the virus. And so we were happy to do that. Our culture is a culture of giving back. This company's been around 80 years, okay, in our communities, and it really kind of touched our hearts as we were donating some of these and hearing the stories at the local level. You know, you hear nationally about all these stockpiles and everything we have, but where the rubber meets the road is at the local level. In our communities in Mississippi, the first responders didn't have what they needed, so we were able to step up and help, and it really just made us feel good because it's part of what we do. So it's our culture.
And Mike, I've talked to you and your office a little bit about how you guys had this pressing need, not just for you, but y'all are involved with making sure everybody else has them too in your county.
Absolutely. With you know, the thing in Washington State and over in New York and the other really big hot spots across the country, the strategic national stockpile went very, very quickly. And states such as ours here in Mississippi, there just wasn't a lot to go around. So now with this right here, this is really going to help us out a lot. But not only are we charged with the responsibility, Rob, of giving personal protective equipment to our responders, but we're also charged with the responsibility to get stockpiles of personal protective equipment to every single healthcare provider in our county. Every single one of them, and there's hundreds of them. And so every single day we've got stuff that is going out of our office. And rest assured, we will let everyone know that picks this stuff up here from Dirt Cheap that, hey, this is where it came from. We need to send these folks a thank you. And for the folks at home just watching this, you know, if you come in and you trade and you do business with people like this is what the return is. And it's huge, and it goes without saying. Just thank you so much for everything that your company is doing to protect not only the people here in Mississippi and in Rankin County, but all across this country. We just thank you so much. So.
Yeah, what I would add to that is what really struck us and why we went out and just out of our own pocket bought more to help was in some of the donations we made, really right in Forest County, some of the fire departments particularly, where in talking to the chiefs and the folks in charge, they had no masks. They had a handful maybe, and they were having to change their protocols on how they were helping people. Like literally what struck me was when you all were having to tell your guys and gals, only one person can go in because we only got one mask on this truck to help someone in need, right? That's what struck us was I don't want my family or any of our folks' families in need of care and they can't get the care because the first responders don't have the equipment to go in and take care of the people that need their help. That's where it struck home for us, which was we got to do something else. We stepped up, we bought more, and that was really before even Vice President Pence called on all private companies and public companies to donate their PPE to the medical community and to the first responders. We started early, and when he said that is when I decided we got to order some more. I don't care what it costs, get them over here. We got to help these folks.
Well, thank you so much.
And would you want to say something for the county, on behalf of the county?
I think what I'd like to say, I'm Craig Slay, I'm board attorney. I'm here in the position of representing the board of supervisors today because my supervisors are actually responding themselves to an emergency weather situation this past Wednesday. And so those guys are out in the field right now trying to take care of constituents. And they are working alongside first responders in that event. So this community has been stricken with several emergency-related response requirements, and all of that requires first responders and volunteers who are willing to put their lives on the line, to put their families at risk, to put themselves at risk, obviously. Anything that we can do as a community, as a government, to make sure that our responders have everything they need, we want to try to do that. It's very encouraging, and I'm here to deliver a message on behalf of the Board of Supervisors. It's very encouraging when private industry steps up and says, we will help meet the need. That is extremely encouraging for a community, and I want to encourage other businesses, I want to encourage all of our citizens to be grateful, number one, that we have a community in which we live where that kind of response is expected and is going to happen. And you have government officials who are willing to stand in there and say, we will take any help that we can get, and we're not going to claim any credit for it. We're going to try to take care of our community first. And so I'm just so thankful to have the opportunity to represent my board in saying thank you to Dirt Chief for this donation. It is extremely helpful, and we will put it to great use. Thank you.
Thank you, Travis.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Rhonda, thank you again, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Awesome.
Security over there.
Okay, so if you just joined us, we are here at Dirt Cheap in Pearl, where Dirt Cheap just donated 800 N95 masks and 2,000 surgical masks to the Rankin EOC for use by first responders. Now, something that we haven't been able to really get too much into, at least not on my page, is the huge need for PPE that our first responders, especially here in Rankin County, that's where I'm more aware of it. Hold on, let me show you. This is EOC Director Mike Word, and he's holding up his special t-shirt to commemorate the occasion.
Thanks again to all the folks at Dirt Cheap. This is incredible. The public-private partnerships are out of this world. Thank you, Dirt Cheap.
Thank you, Mike. So that's what we're doing out here today. If you see the Rankin County EOC mobile command truck out here, that's what's going on out here at Dirt Cheap. So what these guys talked about a little bit is just the fact that when Dirt Cheap realized, the CEO of Dirt Cheap realized that in some cases there weren't enough masks to go around. So there were, ambulances that were running calls where only one of the paramedics had a mask. So that meant that only that one paramedic could go into the call. He said that just wasn't okay. So they went ahead and did that. And of course the Rankin EOC guys are all here, I think. Looks like everybody's leaving now, but so that's what's going on. I just thought I'd let you guys know, let you see what's happening in the Dirt Cheap parking lot today, in case you were wondering. Also, great thing for our first responders, because as a former first responder, it's one of those things that you do. You rush in to save people because that's how you're built. That's what your calling is. And sometimes you do it even when you know it's not okay for you, And so something like this really does help in situations where there hasn't been help before. So anyway, that's what we've got, and I thought I would let you guys see it firsthand from the parking lot of Dirt Cheap. Well, hold on one second. Hold on. Would you want to say anything else for us on Facebook? Just like, where'd you come from? Where'd you come to Pearl from today?
Oh, Hattiesburg.
Hattiesburg, okay. And
That's where our corporate office is. The company was founded there about 80 years ago.
okay, and tell me again, you told the story about knowing that there was only one paramedic with a mask. Could you tell that again?
Yeah, when we first started donating the ones we had in our inventory, just out of instinct, because it's part of our culture, doing the right thing, giving back. in those donations, I was doing them with some of our folks. And just in talking to the first responders and the emergency services groups that were serving their communities, I was literally blown away at the fact that many of the folks we were donating to had no N95 masks, like zero. And these were hospitals, you know, EMS services, first responders, paramedics. They had nothing. Homemade masks or no masks at all. And then in talking to them, we heard the stories. You know, some of the towns, these guys were running around trying to buy them from paint and body shops and auto body shops, like $10 a mask. And hearing that, and hearing it from the the fire department in Hattiesburg, where is our home office, they had none. They had over 100 first responders. They had no N95 masks. And that's where I heard the story of the fact that they were having to ration their masks and change their operational protocols on how they engage and help someone in distress, where they were literally saying, no, we can't send 3 people in to help somebody that might need CPR. Only one can go in because we have 1 mask. That's where I was like, wait a minute, that's not okay. That's where I realized that for whatever reason, the PPE was not getting distributed out to where it needed to be at the time, and that the care of the individual person at their home was going to be less quality or less effective or zero, right? You heard the stories where first responders couldn't go into a house, or only one person could go in because of the equipment. That's the problem, you know, and that's where we said, wow, we got to step up and do what we can do, even though we're a little old dirt cheap. So in the process of the last couple of months, we've been able to donate about 30,000 N95 masks, along with a lot of other things and what have you. And we're pleased too, because it's part of what we do. It's part of our company culture. And we are an extreme value retailer. And then, by the way, this is not a plug. In times like this, where people's income is getting stretched, their discretionary income is evaporating because 25 million people are out of work, there's no better place to go than here, because we're open and we're essential, and our prices are 50 to 90% below what they're going to pay anywhere else. So we are proud of that fact too, that our operating model will be able to help our customers in their time of need as well, as everybody's income is tight right now until we get this thing fixed and turned around.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So guys, that's what we've got here from the parking lot of Dirt Cheap in Pearl. And hopefully these will definitely help our first responders throughout Rankin County. And I know that EOC will handle them wisely, as I've watched Mike laughing at me. All right, I will talk to you guys soon from Dirt Cheap in Pearl. Therese Apel, WLBT.